Alright, yo guys, what's going on? It's Sore Rage, and for today's video, I have a pretty bittersweet announcement that I want to go ahead and share with you all, although I basically already did this back in November or December, but basically though, as you guys can already tell by the title of this video, I have officially quit my job, or at least one of my jobs, but still. And the reason as to why it's pretty bittersweet, I'll go ahead and get into that here in just a little bit, but just thanks to you guys and your continued support over the past couple of months here on YouTube and Twitch has made this possible for me, and I seriously cannot thank you guys enough. So now, for those of you guys that don't know the whole backstory, I started working at Olive Garden back in like June of 2017. And at the time, I just needed a second job just so I can have some extra money for my girlfriend at the time, but we all know how that went out. I needed some extra money because that's what you do when you're in love. You spend a lot of money like a fucking idiot, but anyways. So, at the time, though, I had got the job just because it seemed like a pretty simple job. All I really did at Olive Garden was just host, and there's a lot of shit that goes into working at a restaurant or just working with people in general. Especially in the service industry, you deal with some of the stupidest people on the face of the earth, and I want to go ahead and share a couple of those stories with you guys. So again, though, I started working at Olive Garden just simply on the fact that I really just needed a second job. I really just needed some extra cash in my pocket. And now at this point in time, yeah, it's been about just a year and a half, and honestly, I've met some of the coolest people in my entire life. Some of my best friends still work at Olive Garden, and that's why it was so hard for me to quit. It's really hard to leave a job when you care a lot about the people that you work with, but you can't stand the job and the customers. There's always some sort of new, honestly, bullshit that people walk into the restaurant with every single day, and it's obnoxious. If any of you guys are watching this video that have worked in a restaurant or are currently working in a restaurant, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Again, I never served, I only host, but I dealt with enough serving to an extent to kind of understand. And also, again, though, like I just said a little bit ago, this actually happened back in November, or I think around December-ish. It was before winter break, I think. Actually, as a matter of fact, I think it was just around Thanksgiving when they were trying to sort out like holiday hours and get everybody scheduled ready for that. And basically, it was one Monday afternoon where my manager came up to me, handing me like this new time request sheet that he wanted me to fill out and say, hey Mike, just go ahead, fill this out, just let me know what your hours are. And I knew going into my shift that day, I was like, all right, you know what, nah, like today's gonna be the day. I'm putting in my 2 weeks, that's it. I'm gonna go out on a high note. And that's exactly what I did. At the end of that shift, I handed the sheet back to him completely blank, and I was like, listen, Brent, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, my man. I'm done now. Like, I have a lot of other things going on in my life right now. I didn't exactly want to say like what I was doing in terms of self-employment. I didn't exactly want to tell him that just because, like that could be easily traced, and I have a feeling this could be too, because, that's what you do when you put your face on the internet. Hello, if you're getting that good snooze. I was actually waiting a little bit for him to snore really loudly, and of course the minute I stop talking, that's when he goes really quiet, but anyways.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
I wasn't fucking talking to you, Alexa! I swear, I can never make a video where I actually stay on topic for once. Like, one of these days, I'll do it. I promise you guys. So again, though, as I was saying, I had just handed the sheet back to him, and I was like, look, my man, I'm sorry. I've got other things going on in my life right now with the university, and I've got my other job, self-employment, which again, I say I quit one of my jobs. I still have my other job at my gym that I've been working at for nearly 5 years at this point in time. It's just lifeguarding very early in the morning. It's a very simple job, very good pay. Literally, for what it is, though, I just have to show up, turn on the spas, full towels, and that's literally what I do for a couple of hours in the morning. It's that simple. So now again, though, at the time when I handed him the sheet, he was offering me, he's like, are you sure you don't want to do like maybe 1 or 2 days a week? Because at the time I was working like 4 or 5 days a week, pulling like 12-hour days from going from my opening job at my gym to Olive Garden. And 12-hour days for the most part aren't even all that bad, because I've had summer jobs in the past for like, again, working at water parks where I'm there basically all day from like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at night. Regardless, I've worked those kind of hours before, and it's not so bad. It only sucks when you have to get up at 5 in the morning for it. No, scratch that. When you get up at 4 in the morning for that. And then especially just considering, like everything that I'm doing now, like I'm either working on YouTube videos, streaming, just doing something with this, not getting very much sleep, then going to a 12-hour work shift is a lot. 12 hours technically between 2 jobs, but you guys get the idea. It's a very long day, and then especially on top of that, trying to somehow balance university and the slight social life that I have. Yes, believe it or not, I do. It had basically just gotten to the point where I realized, there's not a whole lot that was really keeping me at Olive Garden. There also were a lot of problems, especially with honestly the management and just the scheduling. Like, it was awful, because every single day, right? Again, if you guys haven't worked in a restaurant, you guys might not understand where I'm coming from, but if a restaurant opens for lunch at say 11 o'clock like my Olive Garden does, you need to have at least 4 servers on at 11 o'clock. 4 servers, 2 hosts maybe at most for a lunch shift, depending how busy you get, or maybe if it's a weekend. But the problem with this Olive Garden and the problem with the scheduling was that we would would have 2 servers that come in at 11, 2 hosts, that's not a problem. The next small hand group of servers will come in at 11:30 and then 12 and 12:30, and by that point in time the lunch rush is basically done, so I'm just like, I don't fucking understand what's the point of even coming in at 12:30. And that's also another thing, because originally when I went to go put in my initial 2 weeks before I eventually was like, alright, fine, maybe I can work 1 or 2 days a week, and then like, even at that point in time it wasn't even really worth it, but I just needed that slight extra money just so I can pay for chiropractic appointments, because broken spine, by the way, just in case you guys forgot, I'm still walking around with 4 fractured vertebrae, so like 1 slight kick to the lower back and I'm done. But again though, it had just gotten to the point where I was like, you know what, I really don't need this, because of just, again, you guys and the support on YouTube and Twitch has allowed me to leave. But again, as I was saying though, there were some serious daily problems to where like the customers would get mad at me, the host, when I tell them, I'm sorry, we can't sit you right now because we have no servers, and then I get like this look like I have a third eye. They go looking around the restaurant, they come back to me like, what do you mean you have no servers and there's no open tables? The restaurant is empty. And I have to sit there and explain and be like, yes, I know that the restaurant is empty. So what I mean by we have no open tables is that we have no servers that can take you right now because their sections are full. And also the servers that I work with, don't even get me fucking started. The head ass is like, yo, go ahead and seat me. I'm ready to make some money today. I sit them within maybe 5 minutes. Yo, why the fuck you double seating me, huh? I'm like, you just told me to sit you. You just told me I can do that. Why the fuck you getting mad at me for that? I can't help it that half of Northern Virginia has for some fucking reason decided to show up at our Olive Garden. I can't help that, Chief. But again though, it's the lack of servers that was a daily issue. I feel like we were just understaffed for a really long time, and not every single restaurant is like this. Not every restaurant, I feel, on the face of this earth has these kind of scheduling issues or understaffed issues, whatever the case may be. But this was a thing that occurred to me for literally about 4 months, ever since like the end of summer and when people were originally going back to university. And I had told the managers time and time again, I'm like, yo, something really needs to be done with the scheduling here, because when customers come in seeing an empty restaurant and then me having to tell them we can't sit you right now because we have no servers, that's a problem. And it bothers me because people get mad at me, and then I'm the one running around trying to find people and talk to the servers like, hey, can you please take this table? And then they get mad at me. I'm just like, yo, I don't need this shit, guys. Just, why are you all like this? Servers are yelling at me because they can't take more than 3 or 4 tables, which I completely understand. No, trust me, like, I fully get that. But it bothered the living shit out of me when a server would come up to me and tell me, yo, go ahead and sit me as much as you want. That's fine. You can even double seat me if you need to, because I need to make some money. Dude, no problem. I got you. Then again, turns around 5 minutes later when we have this giant group of people in the front lobby waiting to be sat. Yo, why you double seating me? You're killing me out here. I'm like, do you see what I'm dealing with here? High-key came very close to numerous mental breakdowns at this fucking job, man. My favorite part, especially with the customers, like I was saying earlier, you deal with some of the stupidest people on the face of this earth. Plus, I just want to go ahead and say this, like, this is just something that I personally have an issue with. You are the worst kind of person if you don't tell the host up front where you want to sit at. Don't get mad at me when I take you to a table and then you say, can I get a booth? And then have the audacity to get mad at me when I tell you, we ain't got no booths available. What do you mean? There's an open booth right there. There's not a server in that section. That happened to me so often. And what would really bother me is that, like, the booths at my Olive Garden are meant to sit 4 people, and then you got one head ass that's just like, nah, I want to sit in that booth right there. And again, my favorite thing, I'd have a party of 5 or 6 come in. Hey, can we sit at a booth? I'm sorry, guys. We can only fit 4 people in a booth. No, it's fine. I swear. We'll fit. This actually happened to me like a week or 2 before I originally put in my 2 weeks. I took this party of 6 and they wanted to sit in the booth. I'm like, okay, I don't work here. I don't know what I'm talking about or anything. They go and sit down in the booth. One person's hanging off the side. Only 4 people are in there, mind you. And they look up at me like I'm fucking stupid, like, we can't fit. No shit, Sherlock! I just told you that! I'm starting to get a little bit heated because, like, I'm finally getting a chance to just let it all out. Actually, yes, one of my favorite things that I remember from this summer, like something that got me so I was ready to swing on this Shrek-looking guy. Actually, he wasn't even Shrek, because Shrek's a respectable man. Like, my guy, I salute you. This guy looked like Jabba the Hutt. I shit you not. He comes up to me with his party of 3. I think it was his wife and his kid or whatever at that point in time, and we had a party of 20 in a back room, right? They're taking up all the tables back there, like, there's just no room. It's a pretty busy lunch rush, so we're on a slight wait, and I tell him, hey, sir, it's gonna be about a 10-15 minute wait. No problem. So this guy ended up getting mad at me, right? Because this party of 20 or 30 people, right? Like 2 people that were a part of that party came in, asked where they were. So I walked them there. And this guy thought that I went to go sit them at a table, which, I mean, technically I did, but I explained to him, I was like, no, sir, they were joining the party of 20 or 30 in the back, so I didn't sit them at a table. I didn't sit them before you. This guy launched on me. He's like, this is bullshit. How are they getting sat before us? I want to speak to a manager. And I'm like, my guy, I just explained to you they went to go join the party of 20. And at that point in time, thank God my man's Gianni was there, because he was like, nah, dude, just go in the back, go roll silverware for a minute. I got this. I don't think I've ever been so baffled at like this man's logic. It made no sense to me, because he's really the type of guy to get mad at me, say he's in a party of 4. He's the type of guy to get mad when I sit a party of 2 at a table that's meant for 2. You got parties that come in, it's like, hey, why'd that party 2 get sat before us? We're a party of 6. Well, guys, I'm sorry, we only have a table for 2 ready right now, so we can fit. Don't work in a restaurant if you don't have to, okay? At the end of the day, regardless of whatever you do, especially when it comes to the service industry, you're gonna deal with that kind of similar shit no matter where you go. But I mean, if you're a server that's pretty high up working in a nice restaurant, I'm sure you're making bank. Everybody's making bank in that aspect, but there's a lot of bullshit that comes with the job. If you're really trying to make some nice money though, and you're cool with talking to people and dealing with a lot of shit, then hey, be a server. Like, you actually make bank doing that. I personally never became a server just because I didn't want to deal with the shit, and I don't know, like, I'm just weird with talking to people in public, I guess. I don't know. I'm weird with that, yet I can sit here in front of a webcam and do YouTube and Twitch and have little to no problem whatsoever, so I don't know what's wrong with me. Actually, now that I think about it, I remember this one old lady got very, very mad at me because I offered her a booth in the bar area, which is like right behind the host stand at my Olive Garden. It's a booth, it was freshly cleaned. I mean, like, she was in a walker, so I was like, hey, you don't have to walk so far, here's a booth. This lady looked at me offended and was like, I am offended you would ask me that. I don't want to sit in a bar, they're gonna force you to drink. Like, what? What the fuck? What? Bitch, excuse me, I don't think I heard you right. They're not gonna force you to drink. You can drink anywhere you want in the restaurant. It doesn't matter. It's just a booth, my guy. You don't have to walk so far. It's the same service. What's the issue? I don't get it when people say that they don't want to sit in a bar or cafe area. Like, it actually doesn't make any sense to me. It's not like they're forcing you to drink. They're not forcing you to drink. You can drink anywhere you want. You're gonna get the same service. Now, I can understand if it's like a party of 4 at a tabletop, you know, kind of deal. That's understandable. But a booth? You're gonna bitch to me about wanting a booth. I give you a booth. No, I don't like it because it's in a bar area and, they're gonna force me to drink. That was my daily life for a year and a half. Oh my god, it actually feels so good to share these stories. Like, I don't know why I didn't share this earlier. Oh my goodness. Granted, again, like I was saying earlier, it's pretty bittersweet on the fact that I actually like a lot of the people that I work with. Like, some of the people that you meet, especially if you're my age, I mean, I'm 22. If you're a young adult that's in, you know, like high school, uni, or whatever the case may, alright, you know, and before, you know, Americans get mad at me for calling it uni. I'm sorry. God forbid they find out I spell favorite with the U. If you're a young adult, right, and you're looking to make some money, and you're looking to hang out with some cool people around your age, a restaurant is actually a really nice place to work at. There's just so much bullshit that comes along with it. It's almost not worth it, but at the same time, again, if you like seriously need money, that's the place to go. So again, though, it was just really bittersweet on the fact that I actually really do like a lot of the servers that I work with. Just a lot of people in general there are really cool people. I'm cool with like a lot of servers, to-go people, hosts. Some of the hosts are rather questionable and may or may not have driven me to quit my job because they're supposed to be there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and they don't show up at all, or they show up like an hour late. And then which leads into the problem of me getting stressed because servers and hosts aren't showing up when we're starting a dinner shift, and it's all of a sudden my fault, so it's fuck it. Although the one host that I'm really cool with is my boy Gianni, like I just talked a little bit about ago. Like, when I found out that this dude was into gaming just as much as me, granted he doesn't play Call of Duty, but just talking about games all the time made my life so much easier. And then on top of that, that's where we started the whole mocking voice like I've been doing, like the whole, hey yo, can I get a booth for 6 people? No, you can't! That's exactly how we would talk about the Pepega customers. And just again though, on the fact that I was cool with so many people, like it's gonna suck, like obviously I'm gonna go back and visit just because like at that point in time, they're my friends. But looking into the future though, will I ever go back and work in a restaurant? Probably not. Unless I desperately need to, then, you know, maybe if I ever come to that bridge, but I don't know. Again, like I was saying earlier, though, don't work in a restaurant if you don't have to. Working in the service industry is fucking awful. So now, what does this all exactly mean for YouTube and Twitch going forward? Well, now, aside Tuesdays and Thursdays, which are the days that I have class at university, and which most of the time I'm home by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, I can now spend all of those days, or like, especially in the mornings, early afternoons, I can now spend that time either making YouTube videos, live streaming, just working on something with this. Now that I no longer have all that stress and just bullshit to deal with Olive Garden, it's so nice. It's honestly like a giant weight has been lifted off my shoulders, because no matter how much I love the people I work with, I dreaded going into work for the past like 4 or 5 months. And just once again, seriously, thanks to you guys with all your support here on YouTube and Twitch, and it's just, it's incredible. I really don't know how to say thank you guys enough, because you guys have now partially allowed this for me to move in the right direction as to making just this my full-time job, in which the day that I'm able to wake up and be able to leave my lifeguarding job and just be able to focus on this full time, that's that's the dream right there. Seriously, being able to just do this for a living, even if I finish university or take a break, whatever the case may be with that, but still. Seriously though, guys, again, I just cannot thank you guys enough for your ongoing support. You guys seriously do mean the world to me. I really can't thank you guys enough. I hope I didn't worry too many people by my tweet saying that I had a bittersweet announcement to make, which I don't even know if I'm gonna have this video go up today on Monday. It's already 3 o'clock. I might wait till Tuesday. I don't know yet. But again, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you guys for allowing me to just, again, move in the right direction to making this my full-time job. Again, seriously, thank you guys so much. It's been Soul Rage. I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.